all
What
that
led you to
craziness.
try it though, or to want to play?
Straight up, just the Stingrays,
South
man.
Carolina Stingrays, baby.
And
It
man, what
was
is-
just popping.
A Charleston hockey tale as old as time.
It
We all see
really
how it
is.
We all know.
Genuinely is. I mean, yeah, Dunny, our dad, he had season tickets before we were born, since they started, and I'm just remember going to those games, and we just run up the driveway, on the hill, like with a tennis ball and stuff like that, shoot at this PVC pipe net, hit the vinyl siding, put a nice little hole in it, and after that, it was about the time to start playing house league and all that crap. And I remember going to the Ice Palace and all the crazy money he spent to get into it, and luckily,
Hey, I think it was a pretty good deal.
all right. I mean,
Come on.
oh my god.
Hey, look where you are now.
So, you having fun yet?
Welcome to episode 10 of the Late Game Podcast. Here in person with my co-creator Jeff Tyner,
Hello.
and I'm Jeffrey M. Zucker, co-creator of the Late Game movie, and excited to do one of these in person this week. Let's start off and talk about how the Bear Seals are doing. I missed last night's game, dealing with a bit of a neck issue, and so I went to the Avs game instead. Unfortunately, that was a huge disappointment. How was the Seals game?
I don't think it was as bad of a disappointment as the Avs, but we lost, sadly. I don't even know what it ended up being. 7-4, 6-3, something like that. We just, I don't know. We were short. We had some good subs, but we were just a little shorthanded, and I don't know. I was lacking as well. I didn't bring a great game.
I'm sure you were solid. How was the team we were playing?
They were solid. I'm trying to think. Like, it was a pretty tight game. Like, it was one. They scored really early, and it was 1-0 for, I would say, over half the game. And just gave up a few goals, and then we got a few back really quick. But it just seemed like every time we'd close the gap to 2 goals, it would widen again.
Yeah.
So that was a bummer, but it was still a good time. I got a good sweat in. It didn't get chippy and stupid. It was all around a solid game, but obviously would have liked to win.
Yep. Yeah, good to hear it. That at least was, not an annoying team to play or anything. Sounds like it was competitive. 10-15 game. I know, what were there, like 8-9 skaters or what?
I actually think we got to 10.
Okay, nice.
Surprisingly enough. But yeah, I feel like first half of the game was really feeling each other out chemistry-wise. Like, we kind of had set lines, but yeah, just a little disjointed, struggling to complete passes that were there, stuff like that.
Yep.
But if I'm not mistaken, was that the regular season finale?
Next week is our season finale for the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, I think our record's still great. So, hopefully we can pull that one off next week. I think the game is at least a little bit earlier than it was this week. So that's a plus, and I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, I went to the Avs game, Again, we've mentioned before, these will be a week old, so this stuff's not as relevant. But, as I was headed to the game, the news came out that Val Nichushkin was going back into the player assistance program, stage 3 this time. He had 9 goals in his first 7 playoff games. Like his 8th game was the first time he hadn't scored. He hit a post. So, the guy was playing well, but, it's not exactly clear how this all came about. It sounds like maybe he failed a drug test or something. And so, the fans and the team were all super shocked, it seemed like, when we got there, and it showed in the Avs game. Coach Bednar said they played probably their worst game of the season. Devon Taves was also a last-minute scratch due to illness. I was hoping that they were going to, step up and take one for the team kind of and make it happen. But unfortunately, it was a big loss. And, yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts on the whole situation, but, what do you think?
As someone very uneducated on it, it is a huge bummer. Just like I saw the 2 texts from you about Nichushkin and Taves, a little before I left for the game. And I was just like, what a gut punch, That was all I could think, was just like, and that can go 2 ways. Like, sometimes a team can rally behind that and elevate, but that's a tough blow. I would assume Taves, I mean, you never know when they release something versus when they know, but that couldn't have been foreseen.
Yeah.
With too much runway in front. So like that sucks. And like I think it was 3-1 on the way to the game, and then the first thing I did when we got to the locker room was pull the score up, and 5-1. It's sometimes I'm of the belief that if you're going to lose a playoff game, I'd rather have the team lose one big versus that.
That's fair.
I mean, our buddies upcoming. Tyler, he's a big Canes fan, and like I know those overtime losses were especially draining.
Yeah, I think it was the first 2 games they lost in OT. Yeah, that kills your soul. It's like if it could have gone an inch the other way,
Sometimes I think it's good for a team psyche just to get your ass whooped and realize, okay, we really gotta bring it next game.
Yeah, I mean now Avs are down 3-1. We'll see. I wouldn't put it past them to win 2 games tied up and take it to 7, but I think it's going to be way more of an uphill battle than it already was. The Stars are really good, so
it seems like Ottinger's pretty locked in, huh?
Yeah, he looks really good. And honestly, like the Avs, the first period they were terrible. I think the shots were like 15-2, but Georgiev was awesome. Like this game certainly wasn't on him. And I did think that, especially toward the third period, it was closer than the score showed. Like it was 3-1 for a while, and just so many close chances. Like McKinnon, Lehkonen, Rantanen getting all these close ones. Makar was a little off, but hearing them after the game, it sounded like everybody was pretty shooken up. And there's all sorts of opinions coming out, like he let his team down again. People may remember he left before Game 7 last year in the first round for personal reasons, amongst some drama, and then was in the player assistance program earlier this year. Now came back, and Jack Johnson said, "Oh, he made his choice," and that tweet noted that his nameplate was already down. So that to me implies anger. But Jared Bednar, I think, spoke better about it in that there's very much a human element to this. They just want Val to be safe and healthy, whether that's with the team or not. Being suspended for 6 months sucks, but I think we all hope that he gets the help he needs. And where do you stand between like the people who are angry and the people who are just worried?
Yeah, I think first off, I think fans that are angry, like, who the fuck cares? There is a human element to it, and I'm not going to pretend to know anything about it because it's not like they've released a ton of information either. And I do think like that's kind of, if you're in the room, staff, player, otherwise, I feel like that's the 2 routes this go. You're worried for the player, but it's a different, I don't know, set of expectations when you're part of a team. And I know everyone's getting paid very well, even the guys at league minimum, but I understand anger.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of people, anger comes before that human element of understanding and worry too.
Yeah.
Because guys are busting their ass for the ultimate thing. And it's just a tough way all around, especially when I don't know the details, but I'm not surprised to see a teammate's first reaction be, I'm pissed off, especially after the way last year went, because like on the pure hockey sense of things, you're not reliable.
And they're a different team with Nichushkin in the lineup.
Absolutely. He's built for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if he wasn't one of the best players in the playoffs right now, but that just adds a lot of extra sting to it.
Mm-hmm. So I understand, and I think that's where a lot of it comes from is like, we being the Avs,
Right.
In that room, if we're trying to dig ourselves out of a 1-game hole, and then I imagine it was just as much of a rug pull for the guys in the room, like I would imagine he was
at morning skate.
I was about to say, I didn't even know that much. I could see it being, you go to bed one night thinking your team's all together, and then you wake up to that kind of news. So the morning skate element's even crazier.
Right. So yeah, it really had to mess with their minds a little bit. And as somebody that, has worked in drug policy and criminal justice reform, I taken a special interest in the situation because it involves addiction, and like addiction's a real bitch and a disease. And, I've been reading some of the comments around this just to kind of see where people's heads are at. And it goes through those same extremes. But, one of the top comments on one of the posts was like, I was addicted to cocaine. Like I would have done anything for that drug, et cetera, et cetera. Like, so it's like hard to put it on him. And so, yeah, I don't know if that's the drug or whatever, but just point being that there's 2 sides of the whole thing. I mean, it sucks that in all likelihood the Avs season is going to end, but I'd like to see them make a strong push. And, should the Avs lose, then I think I'll probably be going for the Stars unless the Canes can make a comeback.
Yeah, fingers crossed all the way around.
Yeah, well, anyway, on that, moving on from the Avs news, we talked about our hockey. I'm excited to get back out to the Friday skate this week. I haven't been in a while.
We've missed you
with
sure.
travel and stuff. Yeah, that'll be fun. And then, let's talk about what we're watching. What have you been looking at these days?
So Megan and I, we just wrapped up another rewatch of Mad Men, one of our favorites. It just goes down so smooth. Super enjoyable experience. It's just so good. But you'll like what we immediately picked up after that was we're rewatching Barry.
Oh,
and just to jump right back to season 1, knowing the full journey of that series is a lot of fun. It's one of the best pilots I've ever seen too. It's so well done. But then on the movie side of things, I realized I forgot the show. I think the week I saw it was the week we forgot to have what we're watching in the beginning, but I wanted to shout out the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was such a fucking fun movie.
Despite its title.
Yeah, not a great title, but I mean, it's exactly what you want a Guy Ritchie World War II movie to be. Henry Cavill's so good. Alan Richman, is that right? Plays Jack Reacher, plays this gigantic Dutch guy in the movie.
I don't know.
Rickman, one of those. Either way, phenomenal. Jack Reacher as a Dutch man who kills Nazis, sign me up. That was great, and I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan, going back to the original 5 movies and watch. I didn't realize until we went into the movie, like a few minutes before, that it was the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the 4th of the past trilogy, what I call the James Franco trilogy, even though he's only in 1 movie. I didn't realize that, and that was fun. You didn't, and it was a solid next chapter versus like really, because it's well in the future. I think it's supposed to be 300 years in the future.
Okay,
so that was a blast. My only thing about the new movies I don't like is that the motion capture technology is so good, the movies make me too sad because the performances are so good. Where as the OG5, I think the themes are there, but also it's Roddy McDowell in a ape makeup, and that kind of helps soften the blow some, and for rewatchability, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of the originals. Saw the James Franco one. I don't even know if I saw the sequels, but I'd like to see this.
The third of the sequels is my favorite one with Woody Harrelson. It's War of the Planet of the Apes, which is kind of a reboot of Battle, which is the 5th of the original 5. The second one, I was talking about this last night, so it's fresh. It's like kind of forgettable to me. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I saw that one in theaters the one time. So I just that's the one I remember the least.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll try to dig into these again at some point. That'd be fun. It sounds like this was a cool iteration.
Oh yeah, I love them. It was really well done, and brought just enough callbacks of just like if you're in deep, you caught them, but if you don't, it doesn't take anything away from the story. And just like I didn't realize Andy Serkis wasn't in it because the likeness to him, I don't know. It's pretty crazy how a performance can come through in those.
Yeah,
it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, what they've done with technology for movies like that is pretty incredible. Excited to see where it goes from there. And then to backtrack a little bit, anytime I have a soapbox to stand on and talk about Barry, I'm gonna, because it's, I think for both of us, one of our favorite shows ever. It's my favorite shows. I feel like cross genres. It's not. It might get in certain categories for awards, but it's not a comedy.
It doesn't feel right to just call it a comedy.
It's definitely not. Yeah, it's like this. It's like a dramedy, and like it's got action though. It's got such unbelievable depth in it. And for anyone that hasn't watched it, watch it. But if you've watched it and don't think positively of it, we got to talk, because I mean, it's just so incredibly well written, so well acted. It's just one of my favorites. So I think I went back and watched the first few seasons before the last one, but I'd love to start from the beginning again.
Well, I know the last season got a little bit of hate. Like, I don't think it was panned, but I think, and I'll say this.
We loved it though, right?
Oh, of course. Phenomenal. But I'll say this was my first time watching it since we made the movie. And a light bulb went on watching the pilot, which I just think as a short film is one of the best things ever. It could exist on its own. It's so well done. But it hit me is like it all comes down to expectation. I think what I have come to grips with the haters on like IMDb. I'm just like such a huge IMDb user that like that whole aspect with the late game bummed me out. But I went through the reviews, and we have a few shitty ones, but I was so like warmed by all the people who were specifically calling the favorable reviews shitting on the shitty reviews for like, what do you expect? Like one person actually was like, I got tricked into watching a beer league hockey game. And then someone was like, it's in the fucking synopsis.
Yeah.
Like if there's one sentence about the movie and it's in there.
Yep.
And
I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like, taking that same thought to Barry, the pilot really sets you up to like, it's almost like Entourage meets a wannabe actor who's a hitman, and people think that has to apply for all 4 seasons.
Right.
Like this setup of, oh yeah, Bill Hader's going to kill people at night and go to auditions during the day. And I'm not going to lie, I'd watch 8 seasons of that show.
Yeah, for sure.
But I really think people were uncomfortable not knowing where that show was going to go.
Which was the best part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, having watched it all in pretty recently, that's a hard show to summarize to your friends, especially if they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Of like, how do you even say what season 4 is about? You know, it's not as easy to put in the words, but boy, I'm so excited to jump on this journey. And the 30 minutes of it all, they really just fly by.
For sure. So the seasons will fly by too. And almost forgot I actually watched a series this past week. Jess and I did. We watched Baby Reindeer on Netflix.
I've been seeing a lot of this popping up, so I'm really interested to know more.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I thought it was very good. You know, to be in the middle of it and find out that the star is also the writer based on his life, just added a cool element to it. I mean, it's a crazy show, but like, it's another genre bending one, comedy drama. Like it's got some deep, dark stuff in it. But it's also entertaining and funny and like, I don't know how much you know about it, but basically a guy that is trying to be a comedian, works in a bar, is getting stalked, but then you like learn about his backstory along the way. And yeah, I mean, the stalker's pretty crazy. And like now the real ladies like come out complaining about it. But like, if she's anything like the character he wrote, then like, that's what she would do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see if that turns into anything. It's been in the news, but just like really well executed. And I just kept trying to imagine being Richard Gadd and like writing this. And it's like, so it clearly came from like a lot of trials and tribulations, like trying to make it. And then, you know, I assume it's all pretty close to, they say it's a true story. You know, when he finally does kind of get some writing gigs and stuff at the end, he basically says it's like, it's not, oh shit, sorry to give away something, guys. But that doesn't really tell you anything, honestly. But yeah, no, he basically, it's like sometimes you can get things that you want and you realize you didn't want them. Mm-hmm. But it's cool to see, you know, how he was able to put this on screen. And like, you wonder how a show like this gets greenlit initially. I think part of it's that, you know, it's a British show and like, it's got a lot of British actors and stuff in it. And maybe that was helpful for getting it made, but yeah, just point being, great watch. The episodes move pretty quickly. I think those were 30s as well. So yeah, I suggest it.
Does that feel, is it meant to be a limited series, or does it feel like there's any room for more, or was it that kind of the intention was just to tell the one story? Yeah,
my understanding is that it's a limited series for one story. I mean, I thought about that a little afterwards. Like, if you wanted to continue this character, you could, whether it was based on this guy's real life or not, but I don't think they will.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hop on that at some point.
Yeah. So this week, though, for our late game fans, we've got an awesome duo for you that we recorded with a little over a month ago when they were in Denver. Tyler Durham and Grayson Durham, brothers in real life, brothers in the movie, whether it's explicit or not. Yeah, I love those guys, and we were so lucky that they dedicated their time to helping us make the movie, and then both of them, but Tyler especially, helping in the launch and the promo.
Yeah, Tyler's been an MVP, a rock star, and I'll say this, I don't remember the episode at all. Yeah. It's been a few weeks now, but I remember saying when we got done with it that this was my favorite one yet.
Okay.
I don't know if we did them before or after Bo and Rizzo. I know all of those were a blast, but yeah. I'm super stoked. It's just there's a different dynamic when you're all in the same room.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely.
And I think we were really strategic with who we wanted to pair up in terms of just like setting that vibe for the room. And Tyler and Gray, I love the way they're represented in the movie. I love them in real life. Kind of became friends with them really basically like my last few months in Charleston before we all moved out to Denver. And we kind of you know, that roster of people I would see when I would go home, it kind of changed and shrank, but like Tyler and Gray were always in the middle of there. And we mentioned this in the episode. I think Gray was the Paulies player short of Alec that I knew the least.
Yeah.
Just because I just knew Kevin, Tyler better, Jason, not in the movie, but mentioned, and they used to all live together, which is where I kind of got to know the whole gang. So, and like, you know, love Grayson to death. We're super tight now. Like, it's wild how the movie has brought us all together.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely has. And I don't really remember the episode either, so I'm excited to check it out as well. And here are Tyler and Grayson Durham.
It's raspberry, dickhead.
I like it. This motherfucker. Yeah, so appreciate you guys coming out to Denver for our watch party here. Got the Durham brothers. Pretty pumped. And how are you guys doing today?
Fucking chilling. I just got tatted. Hour and a half ago?
Tell us what you got.
I finally got to join the the Pie Boy Society.
There we go.
What are we at, 6 right now?
I think
Including
you're number
me?
5.
I'm number 5?
No, he's 6.
You're number 6. You're number 6.
Corey
Corey Connor. Yep.
Shout out Corey.
Yeah, went over to Copperhead Tattoo and got that shit knocked out, and it was amazing. Shout out to the boy Darren. He
Big Darren
had some good stories. He fucking knocked that shit out real quick. It was great. Tried to get Gray to go with me, but you
didn't do it.
I don't know. He said he had too much pool time back home in Charleston.
You had Alec backing you up though, right?
I had Alec backing me up.
It's a real trooper.
That's absolute facts.
I appreciate that. Well, congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you. It's genuinely an honor.
So let's talk about the late game. I mean, when did you guys, start with Tyler, like when did you hear from Tyner about the late game?
I honestly, like, I don't even know, like, the years, like, whatever the first time I came out here, like, when you first moved to that, when you guys had the crazy office.
Yep.
What was that, like 15, 16, something around
when we
like big on by the ballpark.
Tyler was here when I visited for the first time.
Yes.
So randomly.
That time.
Yeah, it was Joe's apartment is what he's talking about. Yeah, when I was visiting to find my apartment, Tyler just happened to be there.
Yep.
And we smoked weed on Joe's balcony even though he asked us not to.
So
Sorry,
like,
Joe.
I guess it was
Sorry, Joe.
I guess it was the trip after that, like when we were kind of at your other space when you were in the duplex.
Yeah.
I don't know, and we were just kind of shooting the shit, like talking about hockey movies and like you having this idea and stuff like that. So I would say that would be the first actual taste.
Interesting. I don't even know if I remember that. That's cool. I mean, I remember that's where we really blossomed as friends.
I mean, that's 1,000%.
Because that was originally going to be like a group trip, and then everyone bailed, and you were like, "Is it okay if I still go?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
Fucking A right. Yeah,
dude, that was a good time. But yeah, Tyler and Gray, y'all were in it from the first draft. Like I was trying to think of who would be there, and you guys were always sort of in that first group.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's 3 years ago. Maybe we got the
4
years ago. We got that first draft, and I mean, once I read the script, I mean, it was all in. I mean, we saw what was happening and what we wanted to be a part of, and saw the vision that you had, and it was fucking amazing. And how it turned out is obviously just great, we played men's league together on the Raiders, we get those, you get some of those clips in there, just going down. Shout out.
Those are ugly as hell.
Those are terrible jerseys. I don't know who made those, but
green gray.
Yeah, I don't think I ever returned mine actually. I think I still have it at the house. Sorry.
Keep that baby.
I'm gonna frame it after this one.
It's a classic.
But yeah, I mean that's I remember all those memories with men's league, and then seeing it come to fruition with the movie. It's just it's a dream come true, and I can only just see how Tyner feels and how he sees how his baby came to life.
Oh yeah, man. Well, dude, the role of Grayson grew a lot because I was like, I don't know if Gray would do it. I mean, like, I feel like we kind of knew each other the least out of that group.
Exactly. Yeah.
And but I just knew, I was like, to me, the cool guys were a package deal. I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna not include anybody. So I was like, if Grayson's on board, then that's when like Jason kind of was like, I can't do it. We gave a lot of the stuff that was for Jason to you.
And that's what I was like, I was stoked to pick up those extra lines, extra roles, whatever you needed me to do. I mean, like you said, I'm the young guy of the group. I'm not the same age as you, Zucker, or even Tyler. I've always grown up with those older guys, and that's cool with me. I've always fit into that older group, so that's cool. And like, I always I flash back to that picture that Proton sent in the group chat. It was literally it might have been in the Pie Guys group chat.
Yeah,
at Chipotle.
Oh,
and I was like, I didn't even like that. Just we didn't know each other like that well, but we were still. It was literally me, you, and Proton.
Like what an odd crew for like what year would that have even been?
Yeah, it was just like a morning after morning pickup, probably on a fucking Friday or Saturday or some shit like that.
I love that
probably
shit.
Tuesday morning.
Unlocked,
it might have been Tuesday morning pickup.
Could have been.
I don't know. But yeah, it's cool how I appreciate it so much how you just gave me the opportunity for all of this. So.
You boys crushed it, man. I couldn't be more proud. And dude, I just want to say, I did my screening for my beer league team, the Pizza Boys, out here, and it was like unanimous across the board. They were like, "Who were the dudes with the sick facial hair?" And they're like, "Were they really brothers?" And I said that, I was like, "That's so fucking." You guys have fans in the Pizza Boys. I'll tell you that.
So it's crazy. So it's like some people either they get it or they don't. It's like we either like. You guys are brothers, or it's like, oh, I have no idea. You don't even look alike. But it's like the facial hair, it's there. So.
It'll be people we've known for like 3 years, like at least, like in the friend group that will like finally come to the fucking point where they're like, wait, what? It's so fucking awkward.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's like, I mean, it's like I'm not trying to get people to guess or understand. But I mean, come on.
I just loved y'all's dynamic in the movie because it's like it's not explicitly stated that y'all are brothers, but it's like, I don't know, you guys, Rizzo calls you guys what, Pete and Repeat or Tommy, like what is it in the Sandlots, the Tommies?
I think it is
the two brothers. Are they brothers? I don't know.
I love Pete and Repeat though. I
mean, dude, like you guys were like just two, like you guys are like a bonded pair in the movie, and I fucking love it because I don't know, it's just
dynamic
you guys
duo.
bring a different dynamic than anyone else in there, and I fucking love it.
And that's what's so great, like I said, I mean, I grew up around Tyler. I mean, not only my brother, I consider him my best friend. I mean, I can trying to not try to get tummy sticks around here. Shout out Biz. But yeah, I mean, it's just all of us. We meld together. And it's so easy once we're all together. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a comfortable and warm set, and I think part of that was just the collaboration that everyone was open to, and also that there were already friendships on the set, and like you could feel that. And I think, everybody there, and like, Alec was coming in, and he was new to the group, but he could kind of feel that vibe as well. So I think you guys were definitely a big part of cultivating that.
I mean, I genuinely appreciate it. Like, I feel like trying to throw on the Southern charm and all that shit, but also being exactly who I am. I can turn the switch pretty on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy to, accept like the hockey community around Charleston. It's not like huge, but like we all love each other.
It's like a small town.
No matter what.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
really 2
is.
degrees of separation. Did you guys? I feel like I took that from one of the earlier podcasts.
Besides, the young Genos.
Yeah.
So this tight-knit, small Charleston hockey community agreed. When, Tyler, did you and Tyner first like interact?
I mean, it definitely had to have been through Kevin in some sort. I mean, I know that like when I turned 18 and started Mickey D's Ducks, like I wasn't
on that team though.
I
was thinking about.
Fuck. That's all.
I remember me and you ran into each other in downtown Charleston once, and we really didn't know each other, but we knew we recognized each other. And it was a really just awkward, like, oh hey, like we both knew Kevin, but like it was like ships passing. We just gave each other a what's up, and then but I really started hanging out with you boys like really like my last year in Charleston before moving to Denver, and like I tell you, man, that was a blast. Like I really felt like brought into this like kind of like a Riley of sorts too, man. You guys kind of had like a thing going. I got to come into it, like that was what I called best friend house. You guys, Jason and Kevin, like. Fucking loved hanging out with you boys.
Yeah, that house was insane. Yeah, what was it? You, Kevin, Jason were on the lease, and then I had just moved back from Raleigh.
Oh, in Park Circle?
In the Pittman house.
Yep.
Yeah,
Shout out Pittman.
Oh my god, that was insane, rowdy days.
Those are good times, man.
Yeah,
Dude.
those are great times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's wild. You have such a better memory than me. That's crazy.
I mean, it's
did
crazy
not
to think how
remember
fucking
that.
long ago it was
Yeah.
now,
Holy
but
shit.
It is, yeah.
it's wild how like when I would start coming home, I don't know, the people I would see, it started with this big group when at like that first year I was in Denver, I'd come back and I tried to see everybody. And then it just kind of got into, I would see you guys because it's easy. Like you guys, I put you on the same path as Noel of like, it's so easy to chill with you guys because we're doing what we want to do, which is smoke some weed and watch something or just chill, be in one spot. And we also collab. It's crazy how shit just comes up. We did the fucking Saucers video.
Yeah. Back to the
Sauce
backyard.
That was that pre
They
TLG collaboration
Yeah.
there, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was living there in like 2015-ish for sure.
That was wild.
Damn.
Oh man.
Yeah, and we had, were you at the Beer Olympics we had
Yeah.
in the backyard?
Yeah.
Me and Tyler, we
Well,
were we
Did we get
placed.
Team
I don't know.
Mexico?
We were probably. That sounds. I was almost gonna say it, and I was like, wait, was it?
Sorry, me and Jason Cliff, we actually won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were apologizing
we
for
meddled.
putting
Yeah,
me.
right.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm apologizing to Jason Cliff.
Oh
Sorry.
god, shout out Jason. Jason Cliff is also that's Jason from the movie.
Jason
Yeah.
from the movie. Yeah.
Unseen Jason.
Unseen Jason. We tried our very fucking best. Cornhole is just a bitch.
Yeah. It's a hell of a sport.
It really is, and you know, hockey is too. And I'm curious, when did you guys first start playing hockey?
I've asked Dunny so many times this question. I mean, I think I was like 12, so Grayson would have been 10, or I was 10 and you were 8.
Yeah. I
It's
usually
one
say
of
8 or
that
10.
two things because we're only 2
Okay.
years apart.
Yeah.
So it would have definitely had to have been like in that time. And I'm a 92, he's a 94. But it was house league, spring league, all
What
that
led you to
craziness.
try it though, or to want to play?
Straight up, just the Stingrays,
South
man.
Carolina Stingrays, baby.
And
What
they
are you
were
talking
raised-
about?
Just popping.
A Charleston hockey tale as old as time.
It
all see
really
the
is.
ways.
We all know.
It genuinely is. I mean, yeah, Dunny, our dad, he had season tickets before we were born since they started, and I'm just remember going to those games, and we just run up the driveway, on the hill, like with a tennis ball and stuff like that, shoot at this PVC pipe net, hit the vinyl siding, put a nice little hole in it, and after that it was about the time to start playing house league and all that crap. And I remember going to the Ice Palace and all the crazy money he spent to get into it, and luckily,
Hey, I think it was a pretty good deal.
all right. I mean,
Oh my
come
God.
on, oh my god.
Hey, look where you are now.
I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, just the fact, because he would like even like through high school and stuff, like with me and Grayson and Jason and Kevin, like whoever, like he would drive like all of us up to Irmo, or like, we'd go to Atlanta all the time. We'd go to Charlotte, blah blah blah. Like he was committed, which we wouldn't have been skating for as long as we have without that, to be completely honest.
Dude, shout out hockey parents, man.
Yeah,
It's why you get to this
deadass.
age and you really realize how much time they're actually
it's
putting into it, man.
insane.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Like I don't even have kids, but like thinking about like shit like that, like that's a toll and a half.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
What? You're getting me up at 6 to go to the rink? I'm kind of good, man. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Shout out to the 16 UAA Junior Stingrays who just got third in nationals.
Hell yeah.
My nephew Jeremy is on the team, and my brother and Laura, Jeremy's mom, they've been just going everywhere and anywhere every weekend.
yeah.
It feels like they're all over the place. So they were just in Dallas for national championships, and like I feel like that's happened a couple times with junior race teams being in national championships. I know like one of the teams Matt Mons coached won, but I feel like that didn't happen when we were kids.
Nope. I remember when Slotchek was a peewee. Slotchek was on the peewee team that they hosted nationals, so they got an
Right.
automatic bid.
Yeah.
And I think Julian DePaulo was on that team.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
They got
volunteering
They
at
got
that.
smoked, and
Shout
I
out
forget. Yeah, I forget what and Beans had an embarrassing moment in that game, and I can't remember what it was. But like he got these,
Rest
like
in
we
peace.
made it there though. I've got the T-shirt, but they got like pumped every game. But
Yeah.
he's got the T-shirt, which I don't know if you remember, like I wanted to go to districts when I was like in that age because I wanted the fucking T-shirt to show off.
Yeah.
You know,
I have a Ryan Sobiak T-shirt from like that tournament.
That was a big one.
That one.
Do you guys remember who scored the game-winning goal in that tournament and who won that Pee Wee National Championship?
Was it Ron Francis's kid?
No, it was Patrick Waugh's son. I don't recall which one. Scored the game winner for Littleton. And Littleton is referenced in the movie. So one of the rinks that Tyner, that we've skated at, I think it's Family Sports, has the actual banner from this Pee Wee National Championship in it. Cool. It says like Carolina Ice Palace.
That's
so it's pretty cool.
Is it hanging?
Yeah, it's still hanging up.
I'll have to look for it.
So I always get happy when I see that. And I remember volunteering at that tournament, and Easton was a sponsor. So we got like gloves and a Synergy and like a sweatsuit. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
Give me a St. Louis curve. Come on now.
Oh, geez. You like it crazy.
Yeah. Oh, you know it.
I do.
What was the yellow? Was it the yellow one? The Sycor?
No, the yellow one.
No, that Sycor was orange. It was
orange.
the yellow, I think, was one of the versions of the Synergy grip.
I think it might be
right. Yeah, that sounds right.
That like banana one that St. Louis used.
That Sycor was sick. I had the Sycor.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely love the equipment back in the day. I don't know what the fuck's going on now, but
Tyler, your gloves got multiple shout outs too from my pizza boys.
That's insane.
Those tan Eagles.
Those like are the most hated on in Charleston, I think.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh dude. The boys out here love them. The boys love them out here.
I might as well have a target on my back and be wearing white gloves.
What are like the Toronto Maple Leafs in an outdoor game?
It's the stupidest thing. It matched so good with our high school team. Like when we would wear the black jerseys and I had a white helmet and I could wear those brown gloves. Kind of went. But now every other like weird team I play for,
I think it's kind of it's evergreen. I think it can kind of work for every team.
I mean, me too. It's neutral as hell.
I love that you guys rock the matching. Like, I love that we planned it out and you guys have the matching fort shells. Like, there's a little backstory to it. I fucking love it. Always, Speaking of gear too, like it was a big thing for me and Zucker to make sure everyone had their own gear. You know, like let people stand out.
Make it real.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, because that's how men's league is.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, it's not all everybody has the same socks and the same jersey. You know, it's always a standout and. The shells.
There's always a Kevin.
There's always a Kevin. He forgets his jersey. You know.
Well, there's. I don't think anybody else in the world probably skates with my skates now.
Well, yeah, you're
Dude, I
rocking.
love that shit.
If we're
the
being
Nike
completely
Quest.
honest.
I love that shit.
Like regular, just
beer
fall
league,
Nike, not even Nike Bauer. Just
Do you remember what they are?
They're
like
Nike
the
Quest.
model? They're Nike Quest. Okay, so there's some. Yeah.
I haven't bought.
I fucking
skates.
love it, dude. Because I love seeing defunct
does.
companies in beer leagues, man. I fucking love that shit.
I mean, not defunct, but I have Bauer Flex Lights from 2011.
I had those same skates, and I miss them every fucking day.
Ooh, they're
they
comfy.
were so good, yeah.
I've tried to switch. It's not happening.
As
long as they hold up. But all right, so let's get back a little bit on the late game, the set. I mean, you're both super helpful on set. Tyler, you were doing every job that we could find for you. Holding the boom mic, etc.
Shout out current tour manager as well.
Yep, helping us running this watch party tour.
Hustling.
We're here in Denver for our watch party in partnership with the Colorado NHL alumni tomorrow. So pretty pumped about that.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, what was set kind of like for you guys? What did you have any ideas of like what you were getting into, and like how hard was it to commit a couple weeks of your life for like minimal pay? Like, let's just get into the experience.
You go first.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, we had no idea what it was going to be like on set. Walking into it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you're going to film a movie. There's going to be a camera here and there. But no, I mean, the amount of shots that you get, the amount of film time that happens, you don't really know what the final product's going to look like. And I think that's what the nice glory part to it is you're going to see that final product and you're going to be amazed about it. But just the time and, like you said, the time and all that stuff that goes into it. But, I mean, it's all completely worth it because in the end, I mean, we got a fucking beauty of a product. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, we got paid off at the end. I mean, definitely, we could have fucked it up and, like, not gotten enough footage and not come out with a movie. So you guys, though, that's extra risk for you guys in terms of dedicating a couple weeks of your life to it.
I mean, so me and Grayson flip houses, as you guys know. Back home in Charleston with our dad. So, I mean, luckily we have the leniency to be able to, kind of put in what hours we need and all that. I'm pretty sure at that time we had a little gap in between houses or something along those lines. So kind of coincided perfectly, with being able to give the full commitment for those 12 hours for the 15 days and all that. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing shit. I mean, I know that personally. Fuck, like I was living back. Like
I mean, he was booming. Like you just said.
Well, yeah. I mean, no. I just mean like I just moved back home from Wilmington, North Carolina. I was living at my dad's house. Like I was just ready to roll, do whatever.
Well, I remember, like Tyler, you stood out early on, just in the script phase, because dude, you were giving me. I wish I had charted it, man, because I bet you have the most notes that end up in the final product, man. And I think Grayson was the one who told me the Kevin story that you tell. I think you were the one who alerted me to it. I don't know. I feel like that ground level approach, and also I got to shout out that you two have my favorite scene in the movie. And I say a lot of things are my favorite, but my true, absolute favorite, because I wanted so much Mighty Duck discussion in the movie. And it was really hard to whittle it down to one scene.
Yeah.
And then in the editing process, even edit it down further was tough. But it was the right call. Again, shout out Finn for pushing me down that road I needed. But yeah, you guys having the Mighty Ducks talk, I fucking love it, man. That gets a huge laugh from the hockey people too. Like, what did you say our most hockey crowd was? Was that in New Jersey?
Yeah, that was probably that like evening crowd in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. The later showing in New Jersey, like. That one especially hit, like, that's the hardest I've hit. Yeah. Like, that was the most hockey crowd, and that hit the hardest. And it's just one of my favorite fucking bits, man. And I just love that that's got the most deleted, like, scenes for that, too. Like, the most deleted footage for that. So we'll have to get that out there, because y'all cover a lot. I just told you guys, I was like, uncork it, man. Whatever you want to fucking bring up, just do it. And you guys covered a lot of ground.
Be a great extra.
And that was so great about just doing it off the rip, you know? I mean, it wasn't script, just wing it.
I mean, you've seen them a million times. So. Yeah, it's like it's not hard to just shoot from the hip on those.
Yeah, that show's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So Mighty Ducks, I love that you guys got to handle some of that angst that we were putting off toward them. But as we mentioned in a previous episode, just it's like a love-hate thing. We grew up watching them over and over. That's why we're so critical, and because there's a lot of like misogynistic and racist things in them, looking back, which is unfortunate.
They're kids, man. They're kids movies too, man. Like that's the craziest fucking thing.
I don't have a ducks fly together tattoo or anything.
Yeah, but it was still
there's love though. I mean,
essential. Yeah, like it's the late game wouldn't be what it is without our Mighty Ducks experience, one way or another.
That's why it's important to include. Like, I need it to be spoken in the movie too. Like, we're not gonna have any Mighty Ducks erasure in the late game. Like, that was that was important to me.
It's an important part of our history to see what a Disney kids movie used to be.
Because true. I've been lobbying the longest time. They need to make a Mighty Ducks 4, which. The first script I ever wrote was in my screenwriting class, and we had it was untitled for the longest time, and we had to give it a title, so I called it Mighty Ducks 4, even though it had nothing to do with it. But I've been beating the drum that there needs to be a hard R Mighty Ducks 4, because the people who grew up on Mighty Ducks are all adults now.
Yeah.
And it's like, make it fucking I guess I'm lobbying for us to do it.
Yeah. I guess that's what he's pushing at. Yeah.
So Tyner and I have discussed countless ideas for Mighty Ducks 4. I could go through them right now. I'm not worried about anyone stealing them because they got to be done just right. But they really ruined it with this recent series.
Well, see,
this Disney series.
We have to pretend that was
page from Marvel
alternate
and
universe.
We're MCU, and that's like the other Venom and stuff.
Out of canon.
Yeah. We'll create. Well, it's like they've done this with the Terminator
Disney,
movies.
give us a call.
The Halloween movies, when Danny McBride and David Gordon Green did their Halloween, they said we're ignoring all of the Halloweens except for the first one.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, we got to do all three originals, but
we just need to get a meeting. Just give us a meeting.
The number of concepts that already I know are in both of our heads, like if any hockey person at Disney with pull.
Wants to take a shot on us.
Yeah, and
I fuck with the series.
Really get this Mighty Ducks thing back going after. I mean, this whole Emilio Estevez thing dropping in and out of the series.
My boy Nate loves it.
I fuck with the series. I think it's good.
All right,
I like it.
We're not the target demographic.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to break anyone's hearts that's worked really hard on it. It definitely looks like it was a lot of work. The hockey stuff is something. The writing is something as well.
I haven't watched it.
It's just not what I would do with an iconic franchise.
That's fair.
It is as a hockey show by itself. Yeah, it's a fine show, but the Mighty like it's a sacred thing that like it's already been tarnished, so like it'll only get better from here.
I mean, no spoilers, but like the fact that they sing a chick song, I think it's Landslide, in one of the episodes, it hits.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't watch.
So we got our advocate. There's some
That
great
shit
actors in it
slaps.
too. Some of the kids are fantastic.
Oh,
They
they
are,
are.
yeah.
Isn't one of the kids from Good Boys in it?
Yes. Yeah. He was like the main
that
kid
was
on the
great in
Don't
Good
Bothers.
Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, there's some good aspects of it, but our dream for
Heard.
Mighty Ducks 4 is just the fact that, come on, couldn't Adam Banks have made it? They made him like a lawyer or something. Like, fine, do that after. Couldn't he have been
that's
the one
real?
guy that made it?
See, yeah,
It was something like
we'll
that. That
mix
didn't happen, though.
He'll be an NHLer, plays for the Wild.
Yeah.
And
He's the one guy who fucking made it.
yep.
I feel like, that makes the most sense.
Maybe even Jesse did. Like, maybe that's where he went instead of
Hell
Eden
yeah.
Hall.
Maybe
Like,
we
he went
need
to
to
play
get in a room
juniors
with
somewhere.
Keenan
Oh,
Thompson.
shit.
Maybe he's the
Dude,
guy.
Keenan.
Maybe we
might
get in a
be
room
the-
with him. He'll be open to our ideas.
I mean, this is the kind of show Keenan Thompson listens to, I'm sure.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Keenan,
yeah.
please, we are huge fans of you and Russ Tyler and the Knuckle Puck.
Change the
And the
game.
Knuckle.
Shout out to Knuckle Puck. Change the
Dude,
game.
Knuckle Puck is one of the most well-known things.
I mean, the shooter,
For better or
Tyler.
worse. The shooter.
Anybody who can take off a full set of gear,
Oh my
one
God.
bench over from the opponent and no one sees it, that's impressive.
56, Tyler. The shooter's on
Basically
the
a
ice.
magician.
I mean, let's be real though. That's a USA Hockey violation. That's forfeit.
Yeah.
They're not winning that game.
Yeah, you can't just pretend someone else's goalie. Also, goalie
Can't take a
throws
helmet
off
off.
his helmet. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
We're blowing that dead, kid.
There's no question. It's a fucking kids game. You can't not blow the helmet when the goalie's helmet comes off.
Nope.
I mean, the guy's wearing the wrong name on his jersey. Is that even impersonation?
Also,
Like,
we're also
person.
overlooking that, like they said, "Fuck USA." We're Anaheim.
we're
Mighty
the
Ducks.
Ducks
Ducks
now.
are
Like, how
above
can you
this.
change
Ever
jerseys
since-
in the third period? Like, beginning of the third period.
They might as well
I
just
don't-
burn the flag at the
Yeah.
red line before starting the
and, like,
third.
Damn, I didn't know that
Mame
was an underlying thing.
wasn't even
in the
there.
Mighty Ducks.
it's like anti-America. It's like that
Well,
first scene where
There's not even an American flag on the jersey, by the way. It's a Hendrix hockey jersey.
They do. One of their helmet versions, the white ones, has American flags on it.
What I love about the red iTech or the blue and red iTech
Oh,
helmets
yeah.
is that they put little individual star
Stars.
stickers on the helmet. It's a good touch.
It was a very nice touch. But from that scene toward the beginning where Charlie's like, well, can't we at least be USA Ducks? We can at least keep our own colors.
Hey,
I'm
Charlie,
like, you're
go
playing
fuck
for the United
yourself.
States of America. It's a fucking honor. Like, what? You're not the Ducks anymore. Like,
Dude.
God, Charlie,
I've
grow up.
been hating on Charlie Conway a lot today.
Yeah.
I'll save it.
Before I left the office to go get tattooed, we were watching what, D3?
I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he was really nice in D2, giving his spot to Russ Tyler when Banksy was
Yeah.
better. I get it, but then he's such a
He's a
fucking
piece of shit.
asshole.
Charlie's a piece
D3.
of shit. I've been saying it. my
But
whole
teenagers
life.
are assholes.
Yeah.
But you know what? No.
But no.
Hell yeah.
No.
You know what? I like that.
There's plenty of kids who aren't assholes in that movie. I'm just no. Fuck
not
you, Charlie.
happening.
You're cut. Your
Poor
scholarship's
Fulton,
gone,
like,
dude.
following him
That's
around.
what I'm saying. He makes Fulton Reed, the kid who was clearly on hard times in the
Well,
first
no,
movie,
right.
say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
you've got this prep school scholarship." No, I'm Charlie Conway. I need you to fucking stroke
Blow
my
it
ego.
off. Ruin your life for me.
Come to the Mall of America with
Going
me.
to
It
roller
will,
coaster.
it will be latchkey kids. No, like he's taking kids down with him, and I just don't. The kid sees one fucking chick and he just throws it all away.
I do still love Joshua Jackson. I very much love Eldon Hansen.
Fulton Reed,
Fulton Reed.
Foggy.
Yeah, Foggy and Fulton Reed.
Dude, he's talking about
yeah,
range.
God, and he's coming back in the new Daredevil.
Love
But
it.
hell
We
yeah.
got the Durham boys here though. Yeah, we've been
Sorry,
going down
guys.
Yes.
We're really
I
getting
don't-
down the rabbit hole here.
I don't
I usually
know.
keep things on track.
I don't know
and
shit.
Yeah, I'm
about
not
movies.
often getting Zucker on track. This
I'm
is-
sorry.
this is
Yeah,
rare
no,
for me.
it's incredibly rare. So yeah, I mean, back on the late game. Very much lots of Mighty Ducks inspiration.
Well,
there.
here's one. I brought it up with Kevin. He's one of, and we've got 2 guys on the score sheet here. Actually, we got 4 guys on the score sheet here. There's only been so many goals. Sorry, here are the only no points.
Hey, at least
but
I got the
leadership,
spin move.
yeah, exactly. Leadership is its own column. But you
I
guys
have to get a lot of shots.
think about it. Only so few people have scored a goal in a hockey movie, and you guys primary assister here, secondary assister, the goal scorer.
Or even attempted shootouts.
Yeah.
Attempts, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot of people say that's the bigger
Right.
stat.
Shootout shots attempted. Because, like, everybody, the eye is on you in
because
the
it's not a shot on
shootouts.
goal,
Right.
but it's a shootout
Yeah.
attempt
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go back to
But
the
yeah, no,
Durham
I
boys.
mean, how did you guys feel about your on-ice portrayal as a member of the Pie Guys? You know, like I think you guys both have a very heavy positive influence on the game. So how do we feel?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
I
thanks.
say.
Dude, thanks, man. Southern hospitality, goddamn. I mean, I know one of the things that sticks out is when we were about to do the shootout thing, and you were like, "Yeah, you're gonna shoot second," and I was like, "No, I don't really want to. I don't have a
I get
shootout
that.
move."
I never want to do the
and
shootout
like,
either, yeah.
I didn't want to have to redo it and make it like seem like because I don't know. And then it just
Because you
ended
saw
up-
what I had to do 100
that
times.
too. Like it was just like, how the fuck do I follow that up? But it made
Noel was the late grab for
I
that
mean,
because I
it
think
was
Grayson was
perfect.
scripted for the shootout.
Yeah, I mean, but Noel, I mean, with
Noel's
all his
got-
camera,
He's the heartthrob.
Yeah.
I mean,
The fact that
He needed
the
it.
stare down to the camera,
I mean,
like
with
like that just fell in our lap.
with
you
the
know?
lion
I see it in my
noise.
dreams at night.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that lion noise
dude,
pulls it all
James
the way through.
Parnell, man.
Pretty sure the
Monkey
hair
Line,
down was my idea, and I have to take credit for it for everyone out there
think
that
so.
loves that.
Do
I
it.
believe so. No, on my assist, the hardest part was getting it wrapped around the boards because I had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
grab
yeah.
it backhand, but also put it front, and I just kept fumble fucking it and not getting it to Grayson like on a good pass. And you're like,
I
it's
remember
fine,
that, yeah.
it's fine.
You were getting a little frustrated,
We'll
yeah.
make it. We'll make it look
It
fine.
looked
and
great,
I was like,
though, yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
But I
no.
just genuinely remember getting
See,
so mad about
I
it.
fucked Alec, who's in the room with no mic. I fucked him over because in my head, I just like when I was putting these sequences together, Riley's left-handed, like because I'm left-handed. That's the only way I can think
Yeah,
of it.
of course.
And poor Alec's a righty, so like we had. I remember multiple times we're like, oh fuck, I'm making this way because I'm pretty sure that like on that goal, like you have you have like an awkward have to catch and turn your body around, and it's because you're not on your forehand. So like I definitely made it harder for you guys, but hey, you know it looked like
It looked-
that's
yeah, it
that's
looks
a
right.
gorgeous. That's like
Yeah.
probably yeah, that's the sexiest team goal.
I agree.
yeah, it worked out really well. You know, I mean, guy fumble fucking the passes over here. Yeah, that didn't help, but yeah, somehow we all pieced it together, and
Yeah,
transition was amazing.
it's a little Sedin action. I love brothers in on the same goal. It's pretty fun.
Exactly.
That was fun in high school when they would call it Durham to Durham.
Dude, that's
Yep.
hype.
Yeah.
How hype are those fucking high school hockey games, man? You get the PA,
Yeah.
you get the music, and
Definitely
like
the coolest hockey we ever
people
played.
showed
I
up
mean,
to the
yeah.
games.
Yeah,
Yes,
too.
exactly.
was.
Yeah.
I
Well,
It's the
played
only
in-
time I played for crowds.
Dude, for
of
fucking
any,
real.
you know, few hundred people's whatever.
I played in the opening, like the first one, and we were the 7:30
Yeah.
game, which, as you guys know, that's the prime time
That's
slot.
prime.
That's when the most people
Oh, yeah.
are there. And dude, there were people, the stands packed,
I was
wrapped around the glass. And I mean, we got beat by Wando. It was a close game, but I had one of those open ice hits, baby, that everyone goes nuts
Yeah.
for.
Just,
You're not getting that anywhere else,
just,
man.
nowhere else.
And you
No.
guys were actually Fort was good when y'all like Fort wasn't.
Yeah.
Fort was like either
Shout out
really
to
good
Fort Dorchester.
or dipped down a little bit.
Patriot
in
hockey.
my
Patriot
times,
hockey,
but yeah,
baby.
2010, 2012 state championship. What's up?
that's what's up. So yeah, Wando. It was Wando and everybody else when we played because that's where like all
Yep,
the travel kids are
yeah.
from Mount Pleasant. But
Yeah, but unfortunately, like the high school hockey, like the scene, unfortunately,
Yeah,
is just
everything's
dying down
dead.
right now.
Yeah.
Which
So
Our
it's bumming
generation
out.
was the peak.
we were, yeah.
Yeah,
we
Hey,
were
at least we
just-
got to experience the peak of something.
That's
Yeah.
what's that's
That's
yeah.
absolutely true.
Right.
That's what I'm proud of.
Because like
for
when we
sure.
won state in 2010, we got to go up to Bensonville, Chicago, or some shit.
Yeah, I
And
remember you
then
told me that.
when
That's fucking
Grayson
wild.
did it in 12, like they went
Yeah,
to Salt Lake City.
Fucking hot
so,
shots.
it's
Yeah,
just,
that's wild.
you know,
That's
just getting that
crazy to-
exposure out
I
there.
mean,
why
from a
not?
team from North Charleston, South Carolina, where we put up football players from Carlos Dunlap and Robert Quinn,
Shout
Byron
out.
Maxwell, and
Yeah,
shit.
shout
Like,
out.
fuck. Like,
Carry
that's-
on Joiner, thank you
Yeah,
very
to
much.
Carry
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah.
I just want to shout my guy out.
You got to.
John Simpson, fuck.
Yeah, is
I
another
always
one.
forget that
There you go.
motherfucker.
One of my interviews on the job,
Yeah.
John Simpson.
That's sick.
Yeah,
It
he
was
was
just
a good
weird. It was, I mean, obviously, like growing up in South Carolina and being, a club, high school hockey team and shit, people know the fuck.
Yeah.
I remember going to the yearbook room and like making the shitty photoshops that I still do on my Instagram
yeah, I love
of
that.
like Reggie Bush and stuff that said like who
Who dat?
think they're gonna beat PH. Yeah. And I would
yeah.
post those around lockers and
Fuck
shit.
yeah.
And so like by the time Grayson and them got to seniors, like they had those stands packed. Like
Yeah.
It was fucking lit, but it was all like
sick.
grassroots effort. Like,
Great
push out the
following.
fucking
Good times.
hustle.
So yeah, I went. No one at my school gave a shit about playing hockey, but Somerville was the closest. That's why I played for them. And there was another Jeff Tyner at the school.
That's weird.
So I don't know
crazy.
if that, like, I know I was allowed to play because it was just like whatever.
It's club
like
hockey,
that.
so,
Other
yeah.
people did that, like whatever the
I
closest.
played for
school
West
is.
Ashley for a year. Yeah.
But I remember my mom
Me
saying
too.
that like we couldn't like the local paper in St. George would want to do something on me. It's like my mom's like, we can't fucking do it until you're out of there because someone's gonna complain.
Yep.
So shout out. I heard the other Jeff Tyner was a fucking weird. There's a lot of confusion of people who
sure.
talk about me and like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He fucking
He's
sucks.
weird.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Maybe I wrecked this guy's cred too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's
true.
two
Wouldn't
Jeff
surprise me.
Tyners at
Back-to-back.
Somerville and two Zach Nelsons at Fort, just for the record.
That's pretty
that's
fun. I
interesting.
didn't know that. Wait, who's the other Zach Nelson?
I thought Nick's buddy. The one from the suit, Kevin's wedding, when they had to pick it up. Never mind.
All right.
No.
All right.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. I have a question that
I
will
was on
be.
the hook, man.
I have a question that I think the Charleston hockey community will appreciate. What was it like working with your nemesis, Matt Mons?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What the fuck?
Ask,
I didn't think you were gonna
ask enemy number one over there. Fuck.
I mean, we'll be sensitive.
Okay.
Like, no one
no,
will
no,
record
no,
it,
no,
but-
no, 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 no. Oh god, that's crazy. I didn't know you were gonna do that. So we've definitely squashed all of our beef. We didn't really even have beef. It was kind of just everything else within the Charleston hockey thing. It was something that happened when I was, I don't know, probably like 20-ish.
A young Gino yourself.
Yeah, it was just a short story. It was a he said, she said. They kind of blamed me. I felt like they were accusing me. So, of course, being that young, I just kind of, said, fuck this, da-da-da-da, like, this is bullshit. They told me I didn't deserve to play at the Ice Palace. So I got a ban for a nice, like, I don't know, hot 3-4 years. Got back on again. Kevin or Grayson was in a fight. Tried to, step in and break it up. Got into the score sheet somehow. Got banned for another, like, 2-something years. So, honestly, when we were filming the movie, I was still not allowed to participate in Ice Palace-related activities. And I definitely know that's still on there.
I don't know if I knew all of the depth.
Noel.
Shouldn't
I was gonna say,
have
my
been
mom
there.
All
Googled
of us.
Noel, and the first thing that shows up is like,
Oh, me too.
like the
Same.
discipline
Me
report
too.
at the Ice Palace.
That's absolute facts. 1,000%.
That's kind of crazy. It makes
I
me
mean,
wonder
it's-
if like people's beer league doings get them fired from their jobs and
Dude.
shit.
I had to write a fucking letter and all this shit. Like, and finally I just gave up after a while, and I was like, I genuinely just don't even care anymore. So I didn't even play hockey for a hot minute. Just
Are you a
in the-
hothead like when Tyler in the movie goes in the box?
Duh.
Yeah, I was just looking at fucking both of your faces. Yeah, I've been known. I've been known to say some choice things.
One of my biggest regrets as an editor is that I left out the shot that is in the trailer, Finn's trailer, of like you getting that kid down. You're just like,
Oh,
like
that
that's
was definitely real.
the beast has been activated
That
there,
was-
and like that's one that I biffed it. I wish I would have gotten that in there.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. But I mean, I definitely, like, growing up, I loved to play the fucking mental game. That was one of my favorite parts.
Fucking
Well,
right.
Rat.
Love to lay a body, love to play that mental game.
What about you? You're silky smooth. We got in the warm ups in the movie. You're doing that cool little flip
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I made sure-
I hope people recognize that one.
Oh, we did.
I actually got a little push that we didn't need that shot, and I was like, no.
No.
We do.
We get Riley on screen, but also I gotta get Grayson in there. It was fucking it was
It's
smooth.
cute.
I
It's-
tried. Yeah. It was. Yeah, that was pretty silky.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have much of a as much of a background with Matt Mons as this guy. I could tell you that right now. I think my last name, him being ruined it,
1000%.
I just got in my own trouble that way. I mean, just doing stupid shit. You know how we were when we were 18, 19 years old playing men's league. But still, yeah, beef is squashed. Took a picture at the Stingrays game after the premiere and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
a good
mean,
pick.
Even the first day out there, it was a little weird, like day one, but like day two, it was totally normal. We were just cracking jokes, bullshitting back and forth.
Yeah.
Because obviously Kevin's awkward ass, as we all know, in certain social situations, will make it a point to call out
everybody
a
feel
problem
If there's a
that
way
you
to make it
have.
awkward,
Yes.
Yeah.
let's do it.
That's
So
his
he
main
he
job.
did that, which was honestly the way that fucking we kind of just got in front of everything, more or less. Which
Yeah.
is good and bad for Kevin
Matt-
sometimes.
Matt Mon's late casting, but dude,
Murder.
Amazing.
Murders in
Killed
there.
it. I remember like seeing him doing like when we were on FaceTime all together when we were just
yeah, the last one that Aria was on that one
just
too. Yeah.
reading these lines. I was like, "There's no way this guy's this funny. Like,
Right?
this is
Yeah.
not possible. I
Dead
can't
ass.
like him this much." But yeah,
One of those things just meant to be, man.
Yeah.
Like
it was.
He
Yeah.
fucking destroyed it.
it meets his like I don't know if you'd call them strong suits, but his character traits. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's
It
the
was
perfect mesh. Yeah.
It was a match.
1,000,000 fucking percent.
Yeah. And I mean, multiple people have come to me after the movie and been like, RA and or Matt are like
Yeah,
their main
same.
call outs, the main things they walk away with. And they're both fantastic performances. I mean, the fact that Matt hadn't done anything acting wise
Yeah.
is like kind of nuts.
Dude, someone brought up to us.
They thought he was a
Cross-Eyes
trained
Pass.
actor.
Well, Cross-Eyes Pass guy brought it up to us that like no other hockey movie really focuses on the ref as like a primary character, and I like that
Oh,
wasn't
shit.
even an effort of me to try to do something different. I'm just like the refs are part of beer league.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
just
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's just. Yeah.
So I
That's
didn't
just how
even,
it works.
yeah, it's pretty fun how that worked out. Like,
Yeah.
and the fact that there were
Huh.
two refs in the scripts that we have on
Oh,
set,
yeah, yeah.
the shooting
Yeah.
scripts, and we never got a second ref.
Exactly,
I think it
yeah.
all
It
worked
worked
out for the
out.
Oh,
best.
that worked perfectly.
Yeah.
I like that he's alone on a little
Yeah,
island.
yeah.
Yeah, me
Like,
too. That shit rolls.
he has like, RA's like a little bit like they have a moment.
Yeah, dude.
We kind of took that didn't all make it, but
Yeah, we kind of removed the moment for like ending on the high note of just RA
Yeah.
being like, don't put this shit on me. But like with the two of them in the script are just like, we both fucking hate this. Like this is stupid.
just get
like
outta here.
so it's like I think that connection's still there if like you
I
really
agree.
look. But no, those two. Maybe the sequel's just those two.
Yeah, that might just have to be just those two.
Dude, we could do like a rat race type thing and just
Oh,
fucking pair
I
people
love
up.
that. Oh man, I
Get
love
some
that
fucking
shit.
skates or some shit.
I like that a lot. And one thing we've been asking people on the show is just like what a day on set was like for you, because Tyner and I saw it from our perspective. There's so many other things that were going on.
Lots of skating.
Lots of standing.
Yeah,
Lots
Grayson
of
was our
standing.
only like real near injury. Like you got banged
Yeah,
up one
that
night,
was,
and thankfully it
Wasn't
didn't
that like the
linger.
last day or no?
Yeah, well,
I got hurt on the
Oh, that was you on the
time.
last day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was during the shooting scene, and it was
It
help.
was when you scored.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
no help to all his bad passes, and just I think the ice was a little
Yeah, he just
chewed
had a
up
bad
by
patch,
then. It was
yeah.
just, it was.
I guess
Hey,
it's
not-
all a bad patch
yeah,
at that
Not
point.
trying to shit on the ice.
It's
Is that
like-
all?
Oh, no,
No,
really,
no, no.
we
We
can't
didn't really use the ice heavily.
I mean, as I'd say,
Yeah,
when we
I mean,
post up in one
we
zone,
used
we'd
the
be
fuck
there.
out of that
Yeah.
ice.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, that's
Shoot up.
So yeah, I mean, luckily it wasn't anything serious. So just a little tweak and go home and ice it. But yeah, I mean, I tore my ACL, like I said, in senior year of high school, and still not the same. And
We had a
anytime
trio of
you-
ACL bros in
Yeah,
here.
I mean, hey, shout out ACL bros. It's just one of those injuries you just probably never gonna return from. Especially like after like you're doing all your competitive hockey.
Right.
It's just like
I was 19 when I played with this kid from the Netherlands, Marco Bamajan, who had his ACL done when he was like 15, and I was like, mine was real fresh then. He, like the last thing he said to me, and I've never seen him again, was just like, the knee never getting better.
never getting
This dude would
better.
smoke Marlboro Reds on like
Hell
right off the
yes.
bus on our road trips, dude. He was cool
That's
as
a
fuck.
fucking- That's an old school hockey player.
Oh, yeah,
Cowboy
dude.
killers.
But yeah, I had to set my expectations low on knees for life. Yeah.
Like I played on a brace for here and there, but then it's just like at some point it's like,
This is just life.
this is life. This is how it's gonna be. Unfortunately, whatever.
So a day on the set.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're
Day
good.
on the set.
I'm just putting us back.
No. Day on the set was always amazing. Hanging out with all the bros and just chilling. Whether you were in a scene or not, just getting to laugh at just the background noise and just seeing everybody act a fool. I mean, it was amazing.
Hanging on the bench, yeah,
hanging
getting to
on the
know each
bench,
other more
yes,
and stuff.
yeah,
Like
just-
we had so much time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, you can't say it any more than that. Just how hockey is, just hanging out with the boys, whether it's in the locker room or on the bench or.
Yeah, like the Pie Guys felt like a real team.
Exactly,
Like, the
yeah,
realest
it's
team
like-
I'd been on since high school.
Yeah, I mean, like some of us haven't played men's league in forever. I mean, we've never even played on a men's league team.
Yeah,
Tyner,
yeah.
it's been years since we played on men's league team, and got Alec, and just, you know, it's just like, just meshed. That's the best part about doing all this and hockey in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say a typical day. Like, I mean, shit, what was our calls? Like 11 p.m.?
Yeah, I think usually like cast would
time.
get there at 11. We'd shoot at 12.
Yeah. So I was living back with my dad, like maybe like 15 or less from the rink. Show up at 11, grab some snacks, run over the shit, go get dressed in the locker room, catch up.
Lodi coffee.
Get a little Lodi coffee.
Shout out.
Yeah, and then, you know, go out there, get some stretches in, kind of get some shots on, and pick up where we were, or either that or fucking like trying to figure out, you know, the next ideas for, you know, something fun or what might look good, but also trying to figure out, like, I remember one day the boards were like super fucking foggy, so we had to figure out
we had
around
some
that.
compressor issues and stuff
Shit
like
that.
Yeah, you were always on board to help, whatever it was. So.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, dude, that's what I'm here for. But yeah, I mean, and then I'd hang around, you know, even if I didn't have scenes going on, just because I wanted to see what the hell. I don't know anything about this world. I wanted to see what the hell is going on. I'd question Susan all the time, like ask her to like let me do things and boom and all that shit, and like, yeah, it was cool just trying to like see everybody else's fucking jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like chatting with you guys and coming up with different shit on the fly.
Yeah, on the fly stuff was the craziest part. How we had to just, you know, if this wasn't working, we're just gonna go on to the next thing. So
I think it really helped that like it was such an authentic,
For sure.
like portrayal that like a lot of the context is already filled in when we needed to sort of do this on the fly stuff, and it was more just like it's point us all in the right direction. Yeah.
Was it sad or weird going back to like real life after?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's got to be. Come on. I mean, you go from being a movie star. Well, Hollywood Durham over there, he could probably tell you a little more than I could.
I don't get why the fuck that's like a thing now. It's so stupid.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird having to go back and just not being at the Ice Palace like you were when you were a teenager,
Right.
when you were 10 years old, just at the Ice Palace every weekend or with tournaments or whatever.
Yeah, we were basically at like a 2-week-long hockey camp.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I asked if we could lock
Film
it in
and
and
hockey.
stay overnight. And I definitely asked that fucking question.
Tyner and I and Rizzo and Finn definitely stayed overnight. Like
Yes.
that time that the figure skaters walked in at 6
Oh,
a.m.
yeah,
like, but not on, like we didn't go to sleep though. Like the dream, like I always dreamt of like having a room there. You know.
I mean, that would have been fucking lit. I'm just real thankful also that me and you didn't blow up
Dude, yeah.
outside in the
Tyler
parking lot.
needed a jump, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's positive or negative, but like the one that's
The
red.
reason
Well,
has no.
In my defense, so you know, one's red, one's black. The black one had a red stripe on it too.
Oh,
So that's pretty fucked up. But yeah, so we had an inverted fucking battery like that
Battery,
should have
no.
caused
Did
a
it
fucking.
kill the battery?
No, it was fine. Got it right way. We're good.
it worked. It worked. I got home.
Avoided
Glad none
total
of us are
fucking
engineers.
catastrophe.
He has a new car
Because
nowadays, but
we
yeah,
were
it was
sitting
fun.
there for a minute and we were like, why the fuck isn't this working?
Had a little bit of smoke, but that was it. Thank God. But yeah, dude, I'm not making it up. A red fucking strip on the black side, dude. It was.
I'm
Oof.
glad you guys made it.
It was only us outside, so no one else would have known.
At least the casualties would have been contained to one on-screen character.
to a minimum. But
We would have had no more Tyler confusion either.
Dude, yeah.
Killed two
Maybe
birds at once.
one
Everything has
more
an
time
upside.
for the funerals, and then
Yeah.
no one would think about it again.
We would just do dual funerals. We just call it
just
like
a
the
joint
Tyler.
funeral.
Tyler/Tyner. We'll figure it out later.
Oh my god, dude.
So now that the movie's out, have you guys gotten any interesting reactions from any friends, family, randos?
I mean, everybody, like, I've been chatting up, like, back home in Park Circle and all that shit, like, for a while and stuff. I mean, the main thing that I get is, oh, wow, like, this is an actual movie? Not like, oh, fuck, man, you filmed a skate video on your fucking, like, handheld with a fisheye from back in, like, 2012. I don't know. Dating was, yeah, shit like that. Or, like, yeah, it's, like, actually funny. Or, like, wow, you're actually in this? You're not just in the background? It's more just shit like that.
Yeah.
But, like, shit
I
that
get
I've
it.
been telling people for, like, the longest time.
But like that's a
It's more
compliment in itself. 'Cause it's like,
1000%.
it's
Yeah,
like
I take it
legitimate.
as, yeah.
That's
You
how I
fucking
take it
came
too.
through, man.
I
We
never take
fucking
it
did
negative,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
by any means. And, like, everybody back home is, like, so fucking supportive, like, whether it's the bars that we fuck with, like, I brought a bunch of posters and things like that to the places we frequent that have just, like, constantly been asking about it and, like, what's up? What's the details? When's it coming out? Just like people that have been genuinely stoked because that's where we live and like that's the people that we fuck with. So like those are our friends and our regular, you know what I mean? Like that's just the homies.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a decent following and people that we've pushed to like, hey, we have this trailer out, go watch it, go watch it, go watch it. So now it's like the movie's out. So now you got to go watch it. You got to support. But yeah, like we have a great amount of friends, family that are supporting and just excited. And anytime I go to a bar or go anywhere, it's just trying to push the movie and just like go check it out. Like whether you like hockey or not, like it's a comedy. And I think I think you'll appreciate it, you know. And if you don't, then hit me up. I don't know.
Oh, well.
Just let me
Then
know.
you still bought it. That's
You
cool.
still
Or
bought it.
rented it.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting our art, even if you don't
It'd
like
be
it.
cool to get a little, you know, to be listed among, you know, the stuff done in Charleston. Like, it'd be cool to just be called a Charleston movie. You know?
I told you I put that shit on, or I tried to add it to our Fort George Trester Wikipedia, and it got taken down within like an hour.
That had me rolling.
Because
Man,
I
that
had
was so good.
But it's
the
true.
IMDb link.
It
I had
is.
everything. I mean, it was legit. It wasn't like I was doing it for funsies. I was doing it to be serious.
What did they get? Is there like a reason when it gets changed?
No,
like,
I just fucking.
I'm sure it alerts somebody at the school.
I don't know.
But like,
I'm sure it's a blanket response because so many kids have fucked with
Yeah,
it.
1000%.
Like, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
like, we
they're not
can't
even
just
reading
put
any
it
of it.
in.
It's
No.
just like,
but
no.
like if like Justin Bieber went there and you filled that, and then you think they would have let it stay? There's like no one can edit this high school page.
My guess is someone's not even reading what's being added.
Got it.
Yeah, I think it's just like a blanket response because too many kids have like.
Mess with it. Yeah.
Yeah, try to
Whatever,
puts funny shit
whatever
on
you
there.
want.
Yeah.
Because I put the links to everything, and it was me, Grayson, and Kevin. Even though,
He didn't graduate.
oh damn, I
shit.
wasn't gonna do that. Damn, that's on Grayson.
Well, he
Yeah,
does
I
it.
mean, it is Kevin. It's all right.
Shout out to Willow Grove, his military school.
Oh wow.
So he graduated from somewhere.
Willow Gray. Fuck, sorry.
Where was that? Did he have to like go off for it?
Upstate.
I know tragically little about his military time, but I would for service.
You
I
haven't
would
thanked
kill-
him ever?
I have not thanked him for his service, but
In military
I would,
school?
I would love some just like firsthand video of like what does normal K-Dog look like on a military school campus?
I've asked him a million questions. I asked him like, what do you do like when all the lizards like come out? Like when you're taking the showers and like you have your shovels and you're trying to like fill up your canteen, like when you're halfway done with your hole. Like
What's
what do
war
you do
like?
with the lizards? Like can you only
Somebody
eat
had
the
to have
beaches?
a flip phone that they could just record at least a video.
He's had to take at
I-
least one like I'm tough. In my
Yeah,
one
like
time.
a
At
selfie or
least
some
one.
shit.
I've never seen one, but I know they're out there
There's got to be
somewhere.
one.
If anybody has
We
a
need to track
connection
down
to find
some
this.
We need
attendance
to-
records and see
yeah.
who else we can reach out
Oh
to.
my god,
They got to be public, right?
absolutely.
But yeah, get us your Kevin dirt.
Ooh.
Thank you.
It's literally.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, you guys have seen my back.
oh, that's true.
I'm on Team
Oh
Tyler.
god, let's not even. Let's not
We
even.
don't even have to.
God,
go into
man,
it.
Kevin's a savage.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah. Fuck God. All right. Well, any other like stories of your time being involved in the late game or time on set that you think are worth
Yeah,
sharing?
what was like? Do each of you have like a single like this was my favorite? Like, so we asked Kevin. Kevin's favorite moment was the Calamino shootout, mostly because he was like not. So it could be what you were in or not. Like you had a spectator seat for. Do you have like a favorite moment?
It's hard to pick one out. I mean, everything was just so great. I like the locker room scene. I'll always die on this hill. Not even just like me and Tyler's, but like everybody working parts together.
Oh, and like the full team's in there.
Us not being actors,
Yeah.
Alec having to put up with our bullshit and not knowing our lines and all
Shout
that
out
shit.
to that moment of like when I was like, we're gonna like rehearse for this, and I heard secondhand that Alec was like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
He's
he
like,
doesn't
hold on.
have to. Like, I
He was
forgot
like,
to specify, so I
"Wait
texted
a
him
second."
individually. Like, I mean, like the non-actors, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not worried about Alec's performance in
Yeah,
this.
the
You
people
know,
that have no idea what's going on. Give
It's a
them
long
a second.
day in a hot room.
Yeah,
It was
but I
fun.
mean,
That
it was
room was
just
fun.
that was I think that was great because there was a lot of people involved. You know, I mean, most of us.
And all the people that you can't see on
it
camera.
was. I was one that I was
Yeah.
stressing the most, just because I knew how
Yeah.
like it's a pretty ambitious to spend like 9 minutes in a room with 8,
Yeah.
7, 8 characters. Like, and that was
the
yeah.
film crew cramped up behind the camera.
It
like,
made that
dealing
post
with
game.
our
It made the
bullshit
post
as
game
well.
sweat pretty convincing.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like y'all played in a fucking
Yeah,
game,
for
dude.
sure.
I know we had the bottle too, but still.
But it was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh,
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, are
your
you getting
turn.
weird with us?
Do you need to put up your
Yeah. No. My favorite time, I don't have like a specific thing, but it was literally just being on set. Obviously you guys fucking know, like, all whatever. So I was living up in Wilmington after shit that happened, back home in Charleston. And then 2 months before the movie, like we were even about to film, my dog that I had had since I was 18 years old passed away out of nowhere, like just overnight. So having to do like all the fucking Zoom, reads and like seeing all you boys, like whenever we do it, like on a weekly basis and shit, like that was a good thing to like pull me out of my fucking funk. Like, obviously, like before, like I'd be a fucking total shit wreck like all those days, like an hour before we would get ready to like get on one of those calls and have to, robot mode it and fucking put my, jokes and all that bullshit on. But like the fact
don't ever
that,
have to.
well, I
know.
But like, yeah, the fucking the fact that I just got to spend 15 days with like people that knew me really close and shit like that. While that was going on in my life was a huge fucking support system. I couldn't be more grateful for that. I mean, I know I had one day on set where it was real shitty. And, I mean, I was just kind of a wreck, but like everybody that kind of, knew me and were close to me, like they just gave me the space and fucking, let me do my thing for a couple hours and shit like that until I regrouped and kind of got a better head and all that stuff. But yeah, that was genuinely my favorite part, was putting my mind in a different spot at that time in my life, to be completely honest.
Great vacation from real life,
Yes.
Yeah,
I definitely get that.
Yeah,
I just couldn't thank you boys enough for like y'all were like everyone was full commitment, but you guys were not just the full commitment, but like so super available to us. Like it just made the headaches of trying to figure out what order to shoot stuff in, like.
We were scared about people like just deciding not to show up one day.
Exactly, man.
We weren't worried about that with you guys. Like,
but yeah, it was a lot on all of our shoulders too. So like you guys were too. I remember it was the opening. What is the opening face-off of the game? I can't remember what day we shot that, but it was Chris's probably first
it was
thing
his
too.
first thing.
And I think you were tripping over something, or I could tell you were stressing out. I just remember going to you and I'm like, dude, you're like the last person I'm worried. I have so many things I'm worried about right now. And the Durham boys are not on the list, So like, thank you guys so much, because you guys are fucking awesome.
Thank you,
in
brother.
it too, man.
No,
Dude,
thank you.
You guys are
for
the
everything.
shit. Yeah,
both of you.
Dude, I'm excited to fucking see what the fuck we're about to do with all this shit. It's gonna be so sick.
It is.
I like it. Yeah, man. Let's fucking get it out there. Keep pushing. Do this watch party tomorrow,
Fuck
and then
yeah.
let's make more movies. And yeah, let's keep it going.
Keep
Oh, yeah.
rolling.
One
rolling
more shout out before we're out, because rolling would have been the best way to close it. Is I gotta shout out Tyler for saying the line that cuts Proton the deepest, which is when you're like, Proton's just a little bit older.
I know, and he looks at me every time.
I can't.
too.
Proton, you look beautiful, man.
Yeah,
like, get over it. Age is a number.
I didn't write it.
All right, I
Don't
did,
get
and I'm
mad.
sorry.
Don't get mad at
It's
me.
factually accurate.
He's
and
also
you're-
clearly the youngest at heart.
right. I mean, come on, baby boy. We love you, and I just wanted to get that in there.
God damn it, I like that. Yeah, that's a good call, because it does cut it real hard.
All right, now we can keep rolling,
Yeah.
rolling.